Lift Power Drivers Training.
Training elements: reduce your risk, road rage, defensive driver, night driving, inclement weather, hydroplaning, and distracted driver. Reduce your risks. If you are driving an unfamiliar vehicle, spend a few minutes to acquaint yourself with all the controls, adjust the seat and mirrors, preset the climate control and entertainment options. Focus on driving and don't let passengers become a distraction. Eating and drinking while driving can be hazardous. Take a break. Secure all loose items in your vehicle. Road rage. Characteristics: intent, displaced anger, use of a weapon. Reduce road rage exposure. Be patient. Manage your own anger and stress. Avoid making eye contact with aggressive drivers. Don't tailgate, cut off others, or drive slowly in the left lane. Defensive driver. Be a defensive driver. Protect yourself and others. Yield to drivers who are determined to get there first. Keep checking your rear view and side view mirrors for oncoming traffic. Remember, your mirrors have blind spots. Always turn your head and look for the other vehicles before changing lanes. Night driving. Use those headlights. At the very least, you should turn your headlamps on about an hour before dusk. This makes it easier for you to see as the sun sets, but also makes you more visible to other drivers. Of course, during times of bad weather, consider using your lights regardless of the time of day. Back off. Following too close can make the other driver nervous, which makes them more likely to react badly to something in the road and cause a wreck. Also, the closer your headlights are, the brighter they seem and more distracting they can be. Your visibility in front of the car in front of you is lessened at night. Night driver. Headlights. Keep the headlights clean, aimed in the right direction, and lit is a key to safe night driving. Keep your eyes moving and be alert. At night, it is harder to see animals, bicyclists, children still playing in the street, or debris that could already be present or become a problem. Inclement weather includes ice, snow, rain, fog, wind, and other natural hazards or factor. Inclement weather. Be aware of weather forecasts. Vehicle pre-inspection. Don't speed. You must always remain cautious when driving in bad weather to prevent a wreck. Slow down. Rainy roads mean slippery roads. Reduce your speed at least 1/3 when the road gets wet to avoid accidents is suggested. If weather is too harsh, don't drive. Whether it's because of harsh blizzard, strong winds, or inclement weather, try to find a safe place to park. If none are available or driving is unsafe, pull over on the side of the road and remain inside the vehicle. Watch for black ice. Some signs to look for are ice buildup on mirror, arms, antennas, or the top corners of your windshield. Inclement weather. Use extra care on inclines. Add space on the road. If you are driving in the middle of a storm, make sure there is enough room between you and other vehicles in case you have an emergency and need to pull over. Keep your lights clean. Dirt, dust, and other material can cover your lights, ruining your visibility. Every time you stop, clear off your lights so you can see while driving. Turn your lights on. Many states require your lights to be on while it's raining, and for good reason. Illuminating your path with your lights helps maintain your visibility even in the rain. Vehicle inspection. Inspect your vehicle to make sure that it is fit for inclement weather driving. Check the tire pressure and tread. Fill the gas tank. Check the windshield washer fluid. Intersections. Make sure other vehicles can come to a complete stop before you enter the intersection, even if you have the right of way. Getting stuck. If you become stuck, make sure there are no vehicles coming before you exit your vehicle. Turn on your four-way flashers before you exit. If you are calling someone to come pull you out, stand clear of the vehicle and other traffic. Getting stuck. If you're going to dig yourself out, try to identify which tires do not have traction. Dig under and around the tire. Look up to see if there are any vehicles coming. If you have any sand or salt, put it under the tire for traction. You may have to repeat this process several times to free yourself. Fog. Dense fog can severely limit your ability to see when driving. Use your fog lights if your vehicle is equipped with them. Do not use your bright lights as it will limit your visibility and the visibility of those driving towards you. High water. Do not attempt to cross running water that is more than a couple inches deep. Do not drive through water if you are unsure of the depth or cannot see the road. Do not cross bridges that have water flowing over them. Wind. High winds can turn over a vehicle or force you out of your travel lane. High winds affect vehicles such as box trucks, work vans, or other high-profile vehicles more than a normal car or pickup. Slow down when driving a high-profile vehicle. Hydroplaning. Hydroplaning happens when your tires encounter more water than they can scatter, so they lose contact with the road and skid along the water's surface. The water pressure in front of the tire forces a layer of water underneath the tire, reducing friction and causing the driver to lose control of the car. Although it can be a scary experience, the most important thing is to remember to stay calm. This is a picture of hydroplaning, the rotation of the wheel, the water you're going over, and then the hydroplaning below here. Hydroplaning example continued. Low speed here, moderate speed here, and then the water flowing underneath, and then at high speed you have all kinds of water, and then the skid out happens. Driving practices to avoid hydroplaning. Be careful during the first few minutes of rainfall. Those first 10 or so minutes after it starts to rain can be the most dangerous. This is because when rain first begins to fall, it stirs up oil and other substances that have dried on the road. The mixture of oil and water forms a film on the road that makes it extra slippery. During those first few minutes, drive slower, and be on high alert for other drivers skidding. Heavy downpour over the extended period of time will eventually wash the roads clean, so conditions might be a little less dangerous at that point. Reduce your speed. This diagram just showing how to reduce your speed during hydroplaning. Driving practices to avoid hydroplaning. Slow down in wet conditions. The faster you're going, the harder it is for your car to maintain traction in wet condition. If your tires connect with a puddle or standing water, instead of maintaining contact with the road, they'll be more likely to skid. Avoid driving through puddles and standing water. These are the spots where you'll be most likely to hydroplane since your tires will have difficulty maintaining traction. Turn off cruise control. If you're driving on a highway and using cruise control, turn it off when it starts to rain. You'll be more in tune with the conditions around you when it's off. You may need to reduce your speed quickly, and that's easier to do when your foot is already on the brake and you're paying attention to the road conditions and your speed. Drive slowly, try to avoid skids, and maintain a mild pressure on your brake and gas. Avoid sudden accelerations. Don't make sudden turns as these could throw your car off course. Be extra cautious on curvy roads, taking care to steer smoothly and driving slowly. Regaining control when you hydroplane. Stay calm and wait for the skid to stop. When you first start to skid, it can be panic-inducing. Try not to panic or lose concentration. You just wait for the skid to stop and stay alert so you can regain control of the car. Bear in mind that most hydroplane-related skids last just a split second before your car regains traction. Waiting it out is the best way to handle the situation. Don't yank the steering wheel, since this action will cause you to further lose control of the vehicle. Ease your foot off the gas. Accelerating into a skid can cause you to lose control of the car and make matters worse. Don't try to accelerate out of the skid. Instead, slowly ease up and wait a moment or two until you regain control before you accelerate again. If you are braking when you enter the skid, ease up on the brake until it's over. Regaining control when you hydroplane. Steer in the direction you want the car to go. Maintain a firm grip and carefully point the car in the right direction. This technique is best known as steering into the skid, and it's the best way to get your car back on track after skidding. You may need to correct the car's course a few times with light countersteering as you regain traction. Don't turn sharply or you'll overcorrect. Jerking the wheel back and forth could cause the car to spin out of control. Keep a steady hand on the wheel. Steer with small movements to correct the course. Spinning out. When someone spins out, the rear comes around and can cause the vehicle to spin halfway around, or in complete circle under certain circumstances. Driving too fast or braking too hard on curves often causes someone to spin out. Fishtailing. Too much power to the rear wheel drive vehicle will lead to fishtailing on wet, snow, or ice-covered roads. Fishtailing occurs when the rear of the vehicle swings from side to side with little or no control. Overcorrection by the driver leads to sometimes violent swinging from side to side. Fishtailing. If your vehicle starts to fishtail, let off on the gas and use small corrections to the wheel to get your vehicle pointed in the right direction or forward. Emergency kits. What you should have. Fully charged cell phone or radio, extra set of dry clothes, including gloves, socks, and/or shoes, water bottle, snacks, stores may be closed, shovel to dig yourself out. Distracted driver training. Distracted driver definition. Distracted driving is an activity that could divert a person's attention away from the primary task of driving. All distractions endanger the driver, the passenger, and the bystander. Distraction. There are three main types of distractions. The first, visual, taking your eyes off the road. Next, manual, taking your hands off the wheel. And the final, cognitive, taking your mind off driving. Distraction examples include texting, using a cell phone or smartphone, eating or drinking, talking to passengers, grooming, reading, including maps, using a navigational system, children, watching a video, adjusting a radio, CD player, or MP3 player. Texting. Because text messaging requires visual, manual, and cognitive attention from the driver, it is by far the most alarming distraction. Distracted driver key facts. Drivers spend more than half of their time focused on other things than driving. Texting and phone calls aren't the only distractions. Passengers, eating, and in-car technologies can also cause distractions. Driving safety statistics. Someone is injured every 14 seconds. Over 2 million injuries annually. A person dies in a crash every 16 minutes. Motor vehicle accidents are the most common cause of work-related death. 1 in 4 fatal work injuries involves a vehicle accident. Driving safety statistics continued. 2,841 people died in distraction-affected crashes in 2018. There were 401 fatal crashes in 2017 that were reported to have involved the use of cell phones as a distraction. The fatal crash rate for teens is 3 times greater than for drivers age 20 or over. Driver distraction is responsible for more than 58% of teen crashes. More than 90% of car crashes involve human error. Distracted driver key facts: engaging in visual manual subtasks such as reaching for a phone, dialing and texting, associated with the use of handheld phones and other portable devices, increases the risk of getting into a crash by 3 times. 5 seconds is the average time your eyes are off the road while texting. When traveling at 55 miles per hour, that's enough time to cover the length of a football field blindfolded. Distracted driving laws. Handheld cell phone use ban. 20 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands prohibit all drivers from using handheld cell phones while driving. All cell phone ban. No state bans all cell phone use for all drivers, but 38 states and the District of Columbia banned all cell phone use for novice or teen drivers, and 21 states and the District of Columbia prohibit any cell phone use for school bus drivers. Distracted driving laws continued. Text messaging ban. 48 states, the District of Columbia, Puerto Rico, Guam, and the U.S. Virgin Islands ban text messaging for all drivers. Montana has no ban, and Missouri bans for drivers 21 years or younger. Florida law. Texting while driving is illegal in Florida. A motorist in Florida can be ticketed for texting while driving. As of July 1st, 2019, Florida became the 45th state to make texting while driving a primary offense in Florida. This means officers can pull drivers over just for texting and driving without any other traffic violation. Florida law continued. Motorists' phone records could be used against them only in serious accidents. Talking on cell phone is not restricted. Florida does not ban handheld use phones. Tips to avoid distractions. Focus on driving. Store loose gear, possessions, and other distractions that could roll around in the car. Make adjustments before you begin your trip to the GPS, seats, mirrors, climate control, radio, etc. Finish dressing and personal grooming at home, not in the car. Tips for avoiding distractions continued. Snack smart. If possible, eat meals or snacks before or after your trip, not while driving. On the road, avoid messy foods that can be difficult to manage. Put aside your electronic distractions. If you have a passenger, enlist their help so you can focus safely on driving. Tips to avoid distractions. If another activity demands your attention, instead of trying to attempt it while driving, pull off the road and stop your vehicle in a safe place. To avoid temptation, power down or stow devices before heading out. Apps that do not allow your phone to receive a call, text, or email while driving are beneficial. Why make a second trip? Jack's Refrigeration's cell phone policy. Every employee should be familiar with this policy and the restrictions. That ends the PowerPoint presentation section. There will be a quiz following. Quiz. Question 1. Inclement weather includes A. Snow, B. Sun, C. Fog, or D. A and C. Question 2. Reducing your speed by a half when roads get wet to avoid accidents is suggested. A. True, or B. False. Question 3. Inspect the following to make sure your vehicle is fit for inclement weather driving. A. Check the tire pressure and tread. B. Fill the gas tank. C. Check the windshield washer fluid. And D. All of the above. Question 4. When driving in fog, use your bright lights as it will limit your visibility and the visibility of those driving towards you. A, true, or B, false. Question 5. Do not drive through water if you are unsure of the depth or cannot see the road. A, true, or B, false. Question 6. Hydroplaning happens when A, your tires encounter less water than they can scatter, so they lose contact with the road and skid along the water's surface. B, your tires encounter no water. C, your tires encounter more water than they can scatter, so they lose contact with the road and skid along the water's surface. Or D, your tires encounter a gravel road. Question 7. The first blank or so minutes after it starts to rain can be the most dangerous. A, 5, B, 8, C, 10, or D, 12. Question 8. If your vehicle starts to fishtail, let off the gas and use small corrections to the wheel to get your vehicle pointed forward. A, true, or B, false. Question 9. If you are driving an unfamiliar vehicle, spend a few minutes to acquaint yourself with all the controls, adjust the seat and mirrors, preset the climate control, and entertainment options. A, true, or B, false. Question 10. Characteristics of road rage include A, displaced anger, B, intent, C, use of a weapon, or D, all of the above. Question 11. Defensive drivers do not yield to drivers who are determined to get there first. A, true, or B, false. Question 12. The three main types of distractions are A, cognitive, visual, and material, B, manual, observation, and sound, C, visual, manual, and cognitive, or D, visual, observation, and automatic. And the final question, 13, if another activity demands your attention, instead of trying to attempt it while driving, pull off the road and stop your vehicle in a safe place. A, true, or B, false. This ends the quiz portion of the presentation.